Hello guys, and welcome to the White Rabbit Trading Channel. Before we begin, please take a moment to read the disclaimer below. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor and everything here is for educational purposes only. Alright, let's dive in. Previously, we were looking at this sloppy downward structure, which had the potential to provide a bounce. Well, as we've seen, it did bounce a few times, showing short-term bullish structure breaks. However, those bullish structures failed to hold as we entered the new weekly session. The price made a move down, tapping into the next liquidity stops, which we had marked as important levels of interest. With that move, Bitcoin also tapped the monthly average wick area we've been tracking from the December statistics. So far, this matches into the expected time window for a potential low formation. Historically, January has shown different timings for lows, sometimes forming earlier and sometimes later in the month. This bounce into key level shows that the two primary targets we discussed earlier have been hit, which is nice to see. Now, what's important is how this bounce changes the situation going forward. We need to observe whether this bounce becomes a confirmed weekly low, leading to a move up to form the weekly high, or whether it was just a temporary bounce and the weekly high has already been set. If the latter is true, we may see more downside movement toward the next lower levels of interest. Let's take a closer look at the daily structure. On the daily time frame, the structure remains intact since the recent moves were only sweeps of previous levels. However, there is one thing to note: a large wick formed during the move down. Historically, we often see these wicks get filled, at least partially. So, if we start seeing weakness, it's something to keep in mind as a potential target area. Looking at the lower time frames, 1 hour, 4 hour, and 12-hour charts, we've now seen structure breaks to the upside. These are not confirmed structure shifts yet, but have opened the door for a potential higher low to be formed. This higher low could form in two ways, either by moving down to retest previous support levels or by ranging at current levels until the market decides its next direction. In both cases, we need to wait and see if price action shows strength or weakness at those key points. Now, let's move to today's statistics and daily close expectations. Based on the average gain for the day, Bitcoin has already hit that target level. The best case scenario would be for Bitcoin to close the daily candle around the current levels, ideally above 94,000 to 95,000 K without losing or closing below the daily open. A close above this range would leave room for more upside, even with potential retraces along the way. On the other hand, if Bitcoin closes below these levels, it could mean the price is falling back below a significant support level, opening the door for another move down. To keep it simple, on the lower time frames, it would look like Bitcoin is re-entering the range, potentially leading to a grind downward and more time spent in this consolidation area. If that happens, the next few days could look similar to last week's price action, where Bitcoin struggled to push higher and instead kept hitting lower levels. Now, let's discuss what to watch for in a bullish scenario. If Bitcoin is to hold its current levels and push higher, you want to see new longs entering the market at support levels, accompanied by bullish CVD and increasing momentum. This would indicate a successful retest and could lead to a move toward the next resistance levels around 99,000 to 100,000 US, or even higher toward the previous week's high. Beyond that, there are monthly average levels to watch for as potential targets. However, if we see weakness at these key levels, it's important to adjust our approach. We'll need to watch for bearish absorption and failed retests, which could indicate that Bitcoin will grind lower. In that case, we'll need to look at the next key levels or liquidity sweeps. Now, let's discuss potential upside scenarios. If Bitcoin holds support and continues to climb, I'll look for weakness at the next resistance levels to potentially enter short positions. On the other hand, if Bitcoin continues to show strength and breaks through those levels, I'll adjust my trades accordingly and follow the trend up. In conclusion, today's daily close is crucial. If Bitcoin closes positive, it opens the door for more upside. But if it fails to hold, we may see lower levels tested. Watch for structure changes on lower time frames to adjust your plan. That's it for today's update. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I'll keep you updated as the market develops. Until then, trade safe, and I'll see you in the next one.